Okay, so question 2 is asking, draw the Bohr diagram for ions formed by the elements you drew in 1A. Okay, so we're going to look at our lithium and our oxygen again. But in this case, it's the ions formed, okay? Ions, this means that it has to be either negatively charged or positively charged. So here I showed you how to find protons and neutrons, okay? I forgot to show you how to find electrons. So electrons are always equal to protons when you're looking at a neutral molecule, okay? So when we did here we have protons is 3, electrons is 3, and neutrons we found, remember, 7 minus 3. 7 comes from the atomic mass right here. 7 minus 3, 4. Okay, for oxygen we have protons, and remember, protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. So protons we have 8, electrons we have 8. Protons we have 8, electrons we have 8, and neutrons we have 16 minus 8, so 8. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to do a Bohr diagram, and how to find if the atom gained an electron or lost an electron. I'm going to tell you how to find that, okay? So let's look at our Bohr diagram for lithium again. I'm going to redraw it. So this is what we found earlier. Okay, this is what we found earlier. And so that's my protons, that's my electrons. We found that lithium has 3 protons, and we found that lithium has 3 electrons as well, okay? But now this is not stable because in the outer shell there's only 1 electron. It needs to have 8 full, so the shell has to be completely full. Okay, a full shell means something like this. Okay, a full shell means something like this. Let's look at neon. So this is a full shell because the outer shell has 8 electrons, which is full. This is stable. This is not stable because there's only 1 electron in the outer shell. It needs to have 8. This is not stable because it needs to have 8 electrons, but here we only see 6. So that means it should have 2 more in order to be stable. So this is unstable. So is this. Okay, so which means that now if you look at this, if you look at lithium now, there's 3 protons, 3 electrons, but lithium is not stable. So in order for lithium to be stable, it needs to either lose this electron or gain 7 more electrons in order to have a full outer shell. So what does it make more sense for you to do? To remove 1 or add 7? So if you look at it, obviously you want to remove 1 in order to have a stable electron, because if you remove 1 electron, it's going to look like this. Now this is full because the first shell can hold 2 electrons and it can be stable. So now this is stable. This is unstable, right? Because so now that's stable, but when we did this, we removed an electron. So there's protons. This is removing an electron. Okay, we still have 3 protons, but we removed an electron. So now we have only 2 electrons. So when you remove an electron, you have an extra positive charge. So that's why this becomes lithium positive, because you have 1 extra positive charge. Okay, let's look at oxygen. So oxygen has 2 shells as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. protons, electrons. So how many protons does it have? It has 8 protons. How many electrons does it have? It has 8 electrons. We know that. We can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But again, this is not stable. Unstable. Because in order for it to be stable, you need to have a full outer shell. Right? This is stable because the first shell can only have 2. So it's stable. It's good. The second shell and the third shell and the fourth shell can only have 8. Okay, so this does not have 8. This only has 6. Which means that now, would you rather remove 6 electrons from the outer shell, or would you gain 2 electrons to make it stable? Which makes more sense? You want to obviously gain 2 electrons rather than losing 6. Okay, so you rather want to do something like this. This is your first shell. So this is how it looks like right now. Right? You want to add 2 electrons. 1, 2. In order for it to be full. Now it's stable. Okay, but this changes our protons and our electron count. Proton, electron. Now protons we had 8. We didn't change anything to our protons. But electrons we added 2. We added 1 electron, 2 electrons. So now we have, instead of 8, we have 10 electrons. So what does that make oxygen now? Oxygen gets a charge. Just like how lithium we have 1 extra proton. Now we have 2 extra electrons, so that gives a 2 minus charge. Because electrons are negatively charged. Electrons, protons. Positively charged, negatively charged. So because we have 2 extra electrons, you put 2 minus. Here we have 1 extra proton, you put plus. Remember, this is 1 plus, right? Okay, so the question is asking you, did each atom gain electrons or lose electrons? So if you look at lithium, lithium gained an electron. Gained an electron to be stable, okay? Oxygen lost 2 electrons. I'm sorry. Lithium lost an electron. Duh. Okay, it lost an electron, right? You took one off in order for it to be stable. Lithium lost an electron. That's why it's positively charged, because now there's 1 extra positive charge. Oxygen gained 2 electrons. From 8 you went to 10, so you added 2. So gained 2 electrons. Okay, so that's why it's 2 minus, because electrons are negatively charged. Protons are positively charged, so you have plus. Now what else is asking you? How many electrons were gained or lost in each case? So again, we figured that out. Lithium lost an electron, 1 electron. Oxygen gained 2 electrons. And that's it. Okay, so that's how you do the counting.